Dear students, welcome. Let me introduce myself. My name is János Csapó. I am the responsible tutor for the Tourism and Catering trainings here at the Faculty of Business and Economics. And I'm also the leader of the Tourism Trainings and Tourism Research Group of the Institute of Marketing and Tourism. Let me just introduce our training for a couple of minutes here. In connection with the basic information, I think you know that the duration of the training would be 8 semesters. 3 years plus 1 year would be a practical approach training in your getting your degree. The name of your degree will be Bachelor of Sciences in Tourism and Catering. As you can see on the slide, and later on I will also emphasize that we would like to kind of highlight here not just the theoretical background of tourism and catering trainings, but also the practical ones. Let's just see how we see it here. First of all, let's see why is it important, or why do we think that you have the right choice when you are choosing our training here. So why tourism and catering? You see the data here from 2019, because I really don't want to deal with the 2020 data in connection with tourism, as you might know, as you all know, of course, which is related to COVID-19. But let's just have a look at how was tourism before COVID. As you can see, if we have a look at the main branches of economies globally, international tourism is the third largest export category in the world, global economy. Also, I would like to emphasize that tourism was giving 10% of the global GDP in 2019. It was provided, every 11th job was connected to tourism and catering, and so on and so forth. So globally, you can have a look at that tourism is just really important. When I start one of my lectures, tourism geography, I also deal with the so-called macro regions of global tourism market. And at that time, we are having a look at the United Nations World Tourism Organization data. Of course, you can find yourself whichever global tourism market you belong to. And we are talking about these spatial trends, for instance. We also talk about supply trends. We also talk about demand trends at that course. Also, I would like to emphasize here once again the numbers. By 2019, 1.5 billion tourism arrivals were kind of detected in the global tourism economy. So I would like to emphasize that this is really an important and accentuatedly important economic branch. So I really feel and I really think that you have the right choice when you would like to come here to study tourism and catering training. Of course, we also have to deal with the 2020 and 2021 situation in connection with COVID-19 and tourism. Unfortunately, we have suffered a huge decline last year and this year as well. But as you can see, there are a lot of scenarios. There are numerous scenarios, once again connected to the future thinking of the United Nations World Tourism Organization, which all say that tourism will recover maybe in 2 years, maybe in 4 years. So I think you could be really an important part of this recovery. That is why it's worth studying tourism. Who shall study here at the Faculty of Business and Economics here at the University of Pécs? Of course, we would like to welcome those students who like to travel. Also because these surrounding areas of Pécs itself is a cultural and a vivid city, cultural center, educational center, regional center, of course, and a touristic center. Our surroundings as well, and it's a really important destination, both in Hungary and in international perspectives as well. Who likes gastronomy, who like to eat and drink, not just in general, but also you can kind of practice this behavior here in Pécs as well, because we have wine regions around, we have beautiful gastronomy in the city and in the surrounding villages and rural areas as well. Also those who would like to get to know more the geographical environment of tourism. We are also welcoming those who will be or who are interested in the economic, in the financial and the management processes and management background of tourism, how it really works, the financial background, how it works. Maybe those who would like to run an enterprise in the future, maybe in Hungary, maybe in their home country. And of course, those who want to be employed in tourism. And once again, I would like to highlight that if you will study here, if you will study tourism and catering trainings, then after these 3+1 years training, you could be really an important part of the recovery of tourism in your country, in your home, in your local community. And last but not least, I think those students shall study here as well, who would like to go and continue on with our master trainings, and also maybe in our PhD schools as well. In connection with the possible or future acquired skills, I think critical thinking is really important in our training as well. You will learn in small groups. You will be able to practice this kind of knowledge or achieve this kind of knowledge. Teamwork and collaboration will also be very important during our trainings, during the courses. And it would be just really nice to attract those students here who have really self-motivation. And I hope that we can take some advantage of your curiosity to learn here. Okay, of course you will be understanding the basic process of the system of tourism, how tourism is working, the management background of tourism, of course, and the peculiar characteristics of tourism products, and also trends that are shaping tourism, both globally, both in a local perspective. Why to choose us? I think we need to emphasize that our faculty is internationally recognized. We are internationally accredited, which is just a huge value of our faculty. We can provide you small classes. Once again, you will be able to work, hopefully, from the autumn period in a normal teaching and educating situation, with some opportunities to have better personal communications with your tutors in these small groups, for instance. As I mentioned in the beginning, we would like to make a great emphasis on the practical side of tourism trainings. And in connection with the faculty, I would also like to highlight that we have a careers office, for instance, a talent and competence development center, where you are really welcome, and during your training, whenever you have any questions, my colleagues will help you with your career advice, with some internships, and so on and so forth. And once again, I would like to highlight that Pécs is a vivid city. It's a cultural city here in the southern parts of Hungary, just very close to Croatia, very close to Slovenia, a little bit further to Austria, for instance, or northern Italy, maybe Romania and Serbia. I'm telling you these countries because you will be able to have the opportunity to travel to these areas as well, while you get to know the local values here in Pécs, and you will be in an international environment as well due to the other international students we have here. If you finish with your trainings, it's just once again the usual questions: what kind of professions and jobs you will be able to carry out afterwards. You will be able to become a tourism manager. Both because it's an English language training, of course, in an international level, or at your home country with a very valuable diploma and degree. Destination manager, product manager, for instance, both in the private sphere and also in the public sphere, connected to, if we are talking about private sphere companies, of course, maybe your own company, you would like to run your own enterprise, and local governments or state governing bodies as well, if we are talking about the public spheres. You can also be a tourism planner, and maybe you will choose such a job as we are doing here. Apart from training and education, we are also tourism researchers, and maybe I can say that I consider myself a regional development expert as well, which you can also become. Of course, hotel restaurant managers, you can be hotel receptionists as a starting point, for instance. You can go to travel agencies, travel organizers, and maybe you will become some member of event organizer companies. So what I would like to emphasize here, that you really have a lot of opportunities with your diploma later on. If we have a look at the modules structure, I would like to highlight that there are different groups of courses you have to do during the 4 years of training. We have the so-called core methodology modules, which everyone here has to learn during his or her studies. We have social sciences modules. These are general modules. And then there will be the core tourism and catering modules and the optional ones. In connection with the core tourism and catering modules, of course, these are very much connected to your, so to say, specialization. For instance, as I mentioned, I will be teaching you tourism geography. I will be having a lecture called the development of tourism products, but you will get to know the system of tourism, of course, at the beginning, at the second semester, foundations of digital marketing. So as you can see, we are very much connected to marketing studies as well, and we are trying to focus on really modern and trendy courses which help you, get along in the 21st century in connection with tourism. So dear future students, thank you very much for your attention. Whenever you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. Feel free to ask our colleagues as well. We try to help you because, of course, this is a huge decision. This is a great decision. Once again, you are very welcome with your questions through email, telephone, or Facebook group, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much. Welcome to Pécs.